Yasodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jayo Prabhupada Jayo Prabhupada Jayo Prabhupada Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Pramanande Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, Chapter 18, Text 57, Chapter entitled The Perfection of Renunciation. Cetasa sarva karmane Cetasa sarva karmane Maye sanyasya matparam Maye sanyasya matparaham Buddhi Yogam Upasritya Buddhi Yogam Upasritya Machitta Satatam Bhava Machitta Satatam Bhava Cetasa Sarva Karmani Mayi Sanyasya Matparaha Buddhi Yogam Upasritya Machitta Satatam Bhava. It is chapter 18, text 57. 1857, 57. Cetasa sarva karmane Mayi sannyasi matparaha Buddhi yogam upasritya Machitta satatam bhavam Cetasa sarva karmane Mayi sanyasya matparaha Buddhi yogam upasritya Machitta satatam bhava.
Cetasa sarva karmani Maya sanyasya matpara Buddhi yogam upashrita Machita satatam bhava
Cetasa sarva karmani Mayi sanyasya matparaha Buddhi yogam upasritya Machitta satatam bhava Cetasa sarva karmani Mayi sanyasya matparaha
Upasritya. Machita satatam bhava. Mataji. Cetasa sarva karmane Mayi sanyasya matparaha Cetasa by intelligence Sarva karmani all kinds of activities Mayi unto me Sanyasya giving up Matparaha under my protection Buddhi yogam devotional activities Upasritya taking shelter of Machita in consciousness of me Satatam 24 hours a day Bhava just become. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: in all activities just depend upon me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. Purpose. When one acts in Krishna consciousness, he does not act as the master of the world. Just like a servant, one should act fully under the direction of the Supreme Lord. A servant has no individual independence. He acts only on the order of the master. A servant acting on behalf of the Supreme Master is unaffected by profit and loss. He simply discharges his duty faithfully in terms of the order of the Lord. Now one may argue that Arjuna was acting under the personal direction of Krishna. But when Krishna is not present, how should one act? If one acts according to the direction of Krishna in this book, as well as under the guidance of the representative of Krishna, then the result will be the same. The Sanskrit word matparaha is very important in this verse. It indicates that one has no goal in life except acting in Krishna consciousness just to satisfy Krishna. And while working in that way, one should think of Krishna only. I have been appointed to discharge this particular duty by Krishna. While acting in such a way, one naturally has to think of Krishna. This is perfect Krishna consciousness. One should, however, note that after doing something whimsically, he should not offer the result to the Supreme Lord. That sort of duty is not in the devotional service of Krishna consciousness. One should act according to the order of Krishna. This very important point, that order of Krishna comes through disciplic succession from the bona fide spiritual master. Therefore, the spiritual master's order should be taken as the prime duty of life. If one gets a bona fide spiritual master and acts according to his direction, then one's perfection of life in Krishna consciousness is guaranteed. Om Ajnanatirandasya Jnananjano Salakaya Chaksuranmalitamena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Vandeham Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cham Sri Rupam Sangrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Savisakanvitam Sam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanu Sudhe Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evecha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadharo Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vande Nantarbhutaiswaryam Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhum Nichopyat Prasadarshad Bhakti Sastra Pravartakam Chetasa sarvakarmani mayi sannyasi matparaha buddhi yogam upasritya machittam satatam bhava. In all activities, just depend upon me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. So here is a very wonderful instruction given by Krishna himself, that here Krishna is requesting us to, in all activities we are doing in our life, to be always dependent upon him and be always under his protection, and in devotional service always be conscious of Krishna. So in this way, by this process of Krishna consciousness, we become free from all kinds of entanglement in the world, and we can go back to Krishna. In the next verse, Krishna says, Machita sarva durgani matprasada tarisyasi adachetum ahankara na sirosyasi na vinansyasi. Krishna says, if you follow my advice, my dear Arjun, to be always dependent in all our activities, we depend on Krishna, and be always under the protection of Krishna, always conscious of Krishna. Krishna says we will be easily overcome the obstacles of life. If, however, if you do not listen to me, you are acting through your false ego, then you will be lost in the material world. So very important subject matter here. And by the practice of Krishna consciousness, by always practicing in a way that we can remember Krishna, this is very possible for us to do. Prabhupada has given a very good example that a man and woman, they are married, but in the same time the woman have got another secret lover. She keeps another man in her life and she is always thinking of him. But in the same time, she doesn't want to let go the present relationship with the marriage life. So she is living with the husband, but in the same time she is also always thinking about the boyfriend outside. So, but then in the same time she is very careful that the husband will not find out that she got another man outside. So she tried to make everything more proper in the house. She keeps the house clean, she cook everything nicely, and though she is in love with him, she makes sure that she never do anything that the man will find out. So in this way, while cooking, she is thinking about the boyfriend outside. When I'll be meeting him, what time I'll be meeting him. So while cooking for the husband here, she is thinking about the boyfriend on the other side. And while serving the husband, she is thinking about the boyfriend outside. So a body is here doing everything, but the mind is thinking about the boyfriend of outside. And Prabhupada says slowly one day she will run away from her husband. She will go enjoy the boyfriend. Prabhupada says in the similar way the devotee, they should be doing all their duty in their life, whether they are going to the work, whether they are taking care of the family and everything. While doing all your duty here, your mind must be thinking of Krishna. How is it possible? It is possible if you train your mind to do this thing. Like another thing Prabhupada says, just like you used to see your children with a particular shoe, and when you come back from work, when you see the shoe there, and you know that your children are in the house, because you used to see your children with that shoe. Similarly, if you used to practice to think Krishna while you are working, while you are doing any other activities, if you are able to, Krishna says, Nirbandha Krishna Sambandha, Yugdam Vairagyam Uchyate. That means that everything in this world are connected to Krishna. It's only you have to recognize that there's nothing in the world is outside of Krishna. In this way, you connect everything in Krishna consciousness, your work, your money, your family. In this way, you'll be able to think of Krishna all the time. So we are born in this country, and you have got a very wonderful facility to practice Krishna consciousness. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Canto 11, Chapter 20, Text 17, there's a beautiful verse is there. Nirdegam Adyam Sullabam Sudhullabam Plavam Sukalpam Guru Karnadharam Maya Anukel Nabasatra Puman Baddam Natare Nahatmaha. That verse says that this human body, human life is very rare, very difficult to obtain. Even though the human life is temporary, but it can give a greatest benediction in human life. It says that the material world is like a big ocean, and human life is a very good ship to cross over the ocean of birth and death. And the spiritual masters is like a good captain, and the wind blowing favorably towards the destination you wanted to move. In this way, the Shastra says, having a wonderful ship, having a wonderful spiritual master, having a favorable wind of Krishna in the form of his teaching, if a man doesn't utilize his life to cross over the ocean of birth and death, he is killing himself. So there are many species of life is there. The Padma Purana says, Jalaja Navalakshani Stavara Laksha Vimsati Kramayo Rudra Sankyaka Pakshinam Dasa Lakshanam Trimsa Lakshani Pasuva Chaktu Lakshani Manusa. There are 8,400,000 species of life. Out of that, 900,000 species are living in the water, aquatics. There are 2 million species of plant and trees are there. There are 1.1 million insect and reptile species are there. There are 1 million types of birds are there. There are 3 million types of four-legged animal species are there. And finally, there are 400,000 human species are there. So out of these 8,400,000 species of life, the human life is considered to be very special because their 5 knowledge acquiring senses are fully developed. 5 knowledge acquiring senses means the ear, the eyes, the nose, the tongue, the skin. Through this, we get the information from the external world. Through the ear, we get some information. Through the eyes, we get some information. Through the nose, we get some information. Through the tongue, we get some information. Through the skin, we get some information. Only for the human being, these 5 knowledge acquiring senses are fully developed. The Shastra says there are 5 levels of consciousness there in the world. One is called Avritta Chetana. Second is called Sankuchita Chetana. Third is called Mukuchita Chetana. Fourth is called Vikachita Chetana. Fifth is called Purna Vikachita Chetana. Then number 1, Avritta Chetana means it's a covered consciousness. Like you put the seed inside the soil, you don't see the seed anymore. That is covered consciousness. is a very low level of consciousness. And only the plant and trees, that kind of consciousness they've got. And little bit developed better than that is, the moving things are there. That is called Sankuchita Chetana. The animal, the insect, they are like a shrunken consciousness. Now you see the seed is something coming out on top now. A shrunken consciousness. Little bit better than the plant and trees. Now above that is called Mukulita Chetana. It is called budding consciousness. Budding, now you begin to see there are some, seed is coming out from the plant now. And that consciousness is better than the plant and animal. These consciousness are there with the human being. And better than that is called the Vikachita consciousness. Now blossoming, the seed now sprout, becoming small flowers of fruit. And finally it's called Purna Vikachita, total blossom of the flowers. So human beings have got this consciousness which is very totally developed in them. They can get to use the ear very, totally properly. They get to use the eyes, they get to use the nose and tongue and skin. Fully developed consciousness. For that reason, that human beings are considered to be the better species compared to all other species in the world. That is why Chaitanya, Prahlad Maharaj told. Prahlad Maharaj says that Kaumaran Acharit Pragya Dharman Bhagavatameh Dullabha Manusya Janma Tatapi Adhruvam Arthudan. Prahlad Maharaj says that the human life is very, very rare. And one who has got this human life, they should engage in practicing of Bhagavad Dharma. The Dharma, the religion brought by God Himself. In no religion in the world that God has brought the scripture teaching for them. In the Islam religion, Nabi Muhammad, who said is the messenger of God. The messenger of God brought some knowledge into the Islam religion. In the Christian religion, Jesus Christ, who claimed to be the Son of God, He brings the knowledge. But here in the world, only one person claims to be the God Himself, that is Krishna. He brings the knowledge into the human society so that all of us can be benefited. So we have got this wonderful human life. So Prahlad Maharaj says, you are born as a human being, it's very rare, very difficult to get this human life. That means we already passed many, many other lives before this thing. We have born in the water, different kind of, living entities in the water. After that, we were born also as a tree and plants. After that, we are born as an insect and reptiles. After that, we are born as a different kinds of birds. After that, we are born as a four-legged animal. After going through all this so miserable life, we have got this human life, which has got the fully developed consciousness. We can understand the trouble and difficulties and problem of life. The problem of life, there is a birth, there is a old age, there is a death, and there is also disease. So in this way, we can understand these are the problem, and we have to overcome this problem. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapila Dev, when he was talking to his mother Devahuti, Kapila Dev told his mother, there is there in the Canto 3, chapter 29, text 29 onward. He says that Tatrapi Spasas Vedabhyo Tatrapi spasa velabhyo, that of all the living entities, those who are born with the sense perception, that means those who are born with the feeling in their life, they are the best. That among the feeling in the body, the touch, feeling of a touch is the better. He said, better than the feeling of a touch is the feeling of the smell is the better, taste is the better. Better than the feeling of taste is the feeling of the smell. Better than that is the feeling of you can hear is much more better. He said better than the hearing is that you can differentiate, you can identify the seeing of a different forms is the better. Better than that, he says that you are born with the lower teeth and higher teeth. And better than that, he says that a person, living entity born with many legs. Better than that is living entity born with 4 legs. Better than living entity born with 4 legs are the human being are born with 2 legs. Tatrapi velabhyo, that rupam vedam vidhatatra tato chobhayate datra tesam bahu padasrita chatuspada tatodvida tato varnascha chadvara brahmana se uttamam. He says that of all the human beings born in the world, those who are born into the varnashram system, that a man understand the difference between the soul and body. A man understand is not the body, is the soul. When you're born in that family, he said that is the best. That there's a social need for the body, there's a spiritual need for the body. And born in a varnashram background, among the 4 classes of men, Brahmana, Satriya, Vaishya and Sudra, he says that born as the Brahmana, the intellectual who knows that you are the spirit soul, that is the best. And among the Brahmanas who read the scriptures, he said that is the best. And among those who have read scriptures, one who can differentiate and able to solve the doubts of life is the best. And among people who knows this thing, one who practices what he has learned, he says they are the best. And among all these people, he says a devotee is the best. Because a devotee renders service unto the Supreme Lord without any expectation of his life. So in this way, very beautifully it has been mentioned there. So we have to take advantage of this human life. And here Krishna says the way to engage, the way to be successful is we have to do 3 things here. One is to Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya matparaha buddhi yogam upasrita machitam satatam bhavam. That we have to always depend on Krishna in all our activities. And always be under the protection of Krishna. And always be conscious of Krishna. So very important when we wake up in the morning. The first thing you bow down to Krishna. When you wake up, the first thing in your life. You bow down to Krishna, then you tell Krishna, I got so many duties on this day. And in every activities today, I'm going to only depend on you. Because you said to depend on you, to be under your protection, and be conscious of you. You said, I will overcome all the obstacles of life. So today I got lots of work to do, lots of duty to do. So you have to make deal with Krishna. My dear Krishna, what do you have to say? You must say to Krishna, you are fully dependent on you. And what other things you have to say? What other thing? I don't believe anybody else can protect me. Only you can protect me. So I'm putting myself under your protection. The second thing you must say to Krishna. And the third thing is that? What is the third thing? Let me remember you the whole day. He said in this way, I will overcome obstacles of life. Beautifully, Krishna says in the next verses, Swabhavajena kaunteya nibhanya swena karmana kartum nechasi yanmoha karisyasi avasopital. In the chapter 18, text 60, Krishna says that, my dear Arjun, if you do not follow, do not act according to my word, anyhow you will be acting according to your own nature. True or not? If you don't act according to what Krishna says, you're going to act according to your own nature. That means you're not going to trust anybody when not going to depend on anybody. What are you going to do? Whom you're going to depend? Whom will depend? You depend on yourself. I can do it. You're going to depend on yourself. And you're going to think that I can protect myself. And you're going to think whatever you want to think. So Krishna says, Swabhava nibhadya kaunteya, that if you don't follow what I say, you're going to do whatever you're going to do because you got some nature inside you. And in the 1861, Krishna says that Isvara Sarva Bhutanam Hridayesu Arjuna Tisati Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani Jantra Rudhaya Mayaya. He said this body is like a jantra, is like a machine. I am seated in this body as super soul. I am directing the wandering of the living entity. You wanted to go this way, but Krishna will take you another way. Krishna controls your life. So it is important voluntarily we surrender to Krishna. Directly we can surrender to Krishna, otherwise indirectly we will be forced to surrender to the demoniac people in the world, to the Yamaraj. So now the next verse in 1862, Krishna says, Tam eva saranam gaccham sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadam param santim stetam stanam prapyasi. Krishna says that if you surrender to me, tat prasadam param santim. Prasadam means, what is prasadam? Mercy. If you surrender to me, you get the mercy. Then param santi, you'll get the highest peace in your life. If you surrender to me. Then in this 1863, Krishna says, Iti te jnanam akyatam goyam goyataram mayam. Asesena vimarsaita asesena yada sachital. I have told you the more confidential knowledge to you. Deliberate on that, you do what you want to do. Krishna has given you the freedom to decide whether you're going to depend on him or you're going to depend on your own mind. So what are you going to do now? Depend on Krishna. That's intelligent. In this way your mind also very peaceful, not agitated. When you wanted to depend on yourself, that means you have to depend on your mind, and the mind gets agitated, and because of the agitation you do a lot of wrong things in the world. So easy only, you give it to Krishna, you do for me, depend on him. So Krishna says in the 1864, the another verse, Sarva goyatamam bhaya srinu me param vacha istosi me dhrudo iti tato vakshe mitehitam. Krishna says all this most confidential knowledge I'm only telling for whose benefit? Krishna is telling. Is it Krishna is telling for his benefit? People do not know why they don't come to Krishna, because they do not know that Krishna is talking for their benefit. If somebody working for their benefit, sure they want to become friend. If somebody working to help me in my life, do I want to be his friend or not? I would like to be his friend because he wants to help me. He wants to benefit my life. So Krishna told Arjuna, because you are my friend, I am telling this most confidential knowledge so that it's only for your own benefit. Then Krishna says in the 1865, Man mana bhavat bhakto matyajimam namaskuru mamivasyasi satyam te pratijano priyosi. May always think of me with your mind. Worship me. Offer your homages unto me. Think of me, your mind worship me, then offer obeisances, then be my devotee. Is it very difficult? Nothing. You don't need to go and buy anything outside to become his devotee, all inside you only. Krishna says, you think of me. In this way you become my devotee. You offer obeisances and do some puja. You don't need to go and find, go and rob the bank to get some money to do this work. So Krishna said, then 1866, Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Paridyaja Mamekam Saranam Brajam Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Moksayasya Mimasuchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion, surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all kind of sinful reaction, do not fear. So Krishna takes charge of all your problem and trouble of life. If you do one thing, what do you have to do? Surrender. So are we ready to surrender? And what is surrender means? What is surrender means? We are already reading within this, verses. Dependent on Krishna. Yeah. So you wake up morning, you tell Krishna, my dear Krishna, I totally believe what you say. And I'm going to depend on you today in all my activities. I'm going to put myself under your protection. And I want you to remember you. And with my mind, I'll become your devotee, no problem. I will worship you, offer your obeisances. I'll become your devotee, don't worry. So in this way, when you are totally belief and surrender, Krishna protects you. In the Bhagavatam, on the 9th day of the war, that Duryodhana noticed that many of his people are dying. And Duryodhana was not happy with Bhismadev. He thinks that Bhismadev is too attached to the Pandava. That is why he is not properly fighting. He is not killing the Pandava. So Duryodhana went to Bhisma. He told Bhisma, my dear grandfather, if you are not able to fight properly, if you don't want to kill the Pandavas, you resign, you give up your post. I'll give it to Karna. You just retire only. You are sitting, you have taken a big position to fight, but you are not fighting properly. So Bhisma got very angry. Bhisma told Duryodhana, I already told you many times, nobody can defeat the Pandavas. Why Pandavas cannot be defeated? Who knows why the Pandavas cannot be defeated? Why? Because God is his Pandava's side, God himself on the other side, how they can win? So Bhismadev said, I already told you many times, Krishna is on their side, nobody can win. You don't want to listen to me. And Bhisma said, today I take a vow. Tomorrow I will kill them. Don't worry. You don't trust me. Tomorrow I will kill the 5 Pandavas. And Duryodhana knows that Bhishma keeping 5 arrows specially to kill them. Then Bhishma, they gave the 5 arrows to Duryodhana. You take care. Tomorrow you give it to me, I will finish them off. So then the news came to the Pandavas camp. And Draupadi came to hear that tomorrow Bhishma Dev, is going to kill her husbands. And she was frightened. Because Bhishma Dev take a vow, that means he is going to do it. So she ran to whom for help? Yeah, that is another way we are learning. She only go to Krishna. The Pandavas, anything, they only go to Krishna. They never go to anybody else for advice. So she ran to Krishna. She said, my dear Krishna, you are the only person who can protect. She said, if Bhishma Dev is going to kill my husband, better I die before them. Krishna said, that is very good idea. Better you die before them. So Draupadi said, what I should do? Only way I got to jump into the fire to take my life. Krishna said, that is very good idea. So you gather the wood and everything, you make fire, then you go and jump. So they're already preparing the firewood and everything to start the fire. And she bathed and then put on a dress. She was ready to go and jump into the fire. And she said, Krishna, I'm ready. So Krishna says, anything do in your life, you must get the elder's blessing. So Bhishma is a very elder person. You must go and get the blessing from him. So she said, you come. So Krishna took Draupadi to Bhishma Dev camp. And that time Bhishma was closed his eyes and he was meditating on Krishna. And that time, so Krishna stand outside the camp and he told her, you go inside. She wearing bangle and everything, you make noise. So Bhishma Dev meditating and then he heard a woman is coming inside. So without looking at the woman, Bhishma Dev said, she said that, you be a Saubhagyavati. Saubhagyavati means that, you live a long and prosperous life with your husband. This is what he said, be a Saubhagyavati. Long life, long and prosperous life with your husband. Then he opened his eyes, then he saw Draupadi standing there. Then, he knows that this thing, only Krishna would have tricked him. And he knows Krishna is standing out there. Then he told Draupadi. No, but Draupadi told Bhishma Dev, my dear grandfather, you have given me a blessing. Long and prosperous life with my husband. But tomorrow you're going to kill my husband. How am I going to have a long, prosperous life with my husband if you don't spare my husband? So Bhishma Dev says, I've given my word that I will not kill them. So in this way, then Bhishma Dev came outside to see Krishna. Bhishma Dev says, only Krishna, you know everything in the world. Only you can make, protect your people. Whoever comes to you for protection, only you can protect them. So in this way, even in any difficulties, we can be spared from all kind of tests and tribulation if you got that great faith that Krishna will protect me. So for that reason, as a devotee, every day, morning when you wake up, you have to tell Krishna, you have to memorize this verse, 1857. Krishna, I believe what you say. I'm going to depend on you today. I'm going to be under your protection. I'm going to be conscious of you. And whatever you promise, you have to do. And midday, if you forget the thing, you again remind yourself, call Krishna again. So in this way, Pandavas were a good example that in every situation, they only deal with Krishna. They never look anybody else for solution. That is why they consider to be a very pakka devotees. No pakka devotees. So sometimes we become little bit bewildered, we become little bit, worried for other things happening in the world. But as a devotee, if you got faith in Krishna, surely Krishna will protect you. So take advantage of Krishna consciousness. And it's a very simple process, it's nothing else. Just by few ways changing the way you are thinking. Instead of depending on ourselves, instead of thinking that I can protect myself instead of thinking I can do anything I like. So that won't work and help you so much. If you really talk to Krishna, really understand. According to the Rupa Goswami, there are 9 ways you have to engage your mind in Krishna consciousness. Number 1, whatever happening in your life as a devotee, a good or bad, you have to understand this is the mercy of Krishna. Later you'll understand why you've been put into a different, test and tribulation. As a devotee, you must take it as a mercy of Krishna, number 1. Number 2, always must remember Krishna. Number 3, never forget Krishna. Number 4, be a servant of Krishna. Number 5, be a friend of Krishna. Number 6, within your mind, you offer some gift for Krishna. Number 6. Number 7, you offer a quality gift for Krishna. Number 8, whatever you're offering, you offer wholeheartedly. And number 9, you be ready to give yourself to Krishna. All these things you do within your mind. So in this way, Krishna says, Manmana Bhavamat Bhakto. When your mind is always thinking of me, then you'll become his devotee. Then you will bow down to me. You will worship him because the mind is properly situated. So the mind's duty is that, engagement of mind is that, whatever has happened to you as a devotee, what you have to understand, it is all Krishna's mercy. Don't blame anybody around you. Don't leave Krishna because you think Krishna has made my life more difficult. No. Krishna wants you to learn something more better. Because in life, the ultimate thing is that death. There is no bigger problem in life other than death. Death is the most difficult process, When a baby giving birth, when a mother giving birth to a baby, normally it is said that the mother thinks, I will never give birth to another child. That's enough. They go through the pain. But the death is that you go through 100 times more than what you're giving birth to a baby. It's the most difficult process. So we have to meet the most difficult danger in our life. Unless we practice slowly, little danger, little danger, little danger. After some time, nothing will disturb you in your mind. You become immune to any of the danger. For that reason, Krishna give you the training. If you don't go through any difficulty, suddenly you go through some difficulty, you're shaken, you don't know what to do. True or not? A person who have gone through, so much of difficulty, after some time, they don't care anything, they got, okay, enough is enough, who cares about any of these things. So like that, Krishna, giving some tests and tribulations, so he's preparing you for the, final journey from this world, that you are not disturbed with anything when the death comes, because that is the biggest, danger of life. So if you go through, small danger, small danger, small danger, like you are learning to catch a small snake, and one day you're catching bigger snake, then ultimately one day you'll be able to catch the biggest snake. So like that, Krishna training the devotees to, become immune to the material miseries of life, so that you can prepare and go back to him. For that reason, Kundi Devi says, Vipada Santuta Saswa Tatra Jagurguru Bhavato Darshanam Yasha Rishikein Apunar Bhava Darshanam. She said, please give me more danger, please give me more danger, please give me more danger. Why she asked for danger? So she knows you are in danger, Krishna will be there to help you. then she knows if Krishna is there, what danger, what they can do for you? No danger can do for you. Just like you are beside a policeman. So people, they're not ready to harm you. So like that, Kundi Devi asking for more danger because she knows Krishna will be there to protect his devotee. When Krishna is there, no danger will do anything to me. So like that, slowly Krishna takes us to that level. And the process is very simple. Like Krishna today says that, in all your activities depend on me. Be under my protection. Be conscious of me. You'll overcome all the obstacles of life. Okay, thank you so much for being here. Any questions, any comments here? Yeah, Prabhuji.
Maharaj, thank you for your lecture. Actually, because of so many, for example, karmas from the last life or this life, Krishna is protected all of the karmas or something, and or if you quietly concentrate on Krishna, because of the so many karmas, for example, you are somebody are into the disease or something.
See, Krishna says in the, that is in the Shastra, people are, going through everything in their life due to their previous life karma. Then while living in the world, they're also creating a new karma for them. And the new karma will take to a next life. Previous life karma, the collected karma, the stock of karma is called sanchita karma. Then the present life you're creating a new one is called prarabdha karma. And next life you're going to suffer, that is called kriyamani karma. So there is sanchita, prarabdha, kriyamana. The Shastra says, aparabdha palam papam kutta bija palam mukha plavitaiva kravaneva Vishnu bhakti ratatukam. If you perform bhakti for Lord Vishnu, he says that you become free from the sanchita karma, previous life karma. You become free from present karma. You also become free from the future karma. Krishna clears everything from you. And in 1866, Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Pari. If you surrender to me, I shall deliver you from all kind of sinful reaction. So only thing is that you must surrender. As long as you don't surrender, so you're not giving the opportunity to Krishna to clear everything from you. You have to surrender.
Surrender sometimes very simple word is, but in practically sometimes so many options you have to follow it to make it visible.
Yeah. So the surrender also they've given another understanding. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya var. Surrender, there are 6 actions you must do in your life. That number 1, accept whatever is favorable in Krishna consciousness. Number 2, whatever is not favorable, you reject. Number 3, Krishna, understand Krishna is the Supreme Master. Number 4, understand Krishna will maintain your life. You must understand. Number 5, you must know Krishna will protect you. And number 6, apply your humility ways of, doing service to Krishna. It's not very difficult at all. As yesterday we've been talking, the day before yesterday, I think. There's only 2 principles of Krishna consciousness. Smartavyam satatam Vishnum vismartavyam jatuchi. That means only 2 things you have to do in Krishna consciousness. One is always remember Krishna. Second is that always, never forget Krishna. Always remember Krishna and never forget. It is the only 2 things in Krishna consciousness. All other things to help you to these 2 principles. If you do something, it makes you to forget Krishna, you don't do the thing. If you do something that makes you to remember Krishna, you do the thing. Understand? Because if you do anything, if you don't remember Krishna, there's no point of doing. There is no you're doing puja, but your mind is somewhere else. You do chanting, your mind is somewhere else. So you're not getting a good effect of what you are doing. So remember that, whatever you're doing, cooking or sweeping or chanting anything, then only principle, chanting, why I have to chant? It makes you to remember Krishna. Why I have to cook? It makes me to remember Krishna. Why do puja? Makes me to remember Krishna. So the Shastra says, always remember Krishna, never forget him. There's only two principles. Everything else to facilitate, for these two things, nothing else. Anything else? So all are ready to depend on Krishna, to be under his protection and to conscious of him. When your mind is going somewhere else, not doing this, you bring back your mind. You stop and then you tell again Krishna. After you go out from here, after some time, your mind is not thinking about this message, and then you tell your mind again. No, you tell your mind, better listen. you must depend on Krishna. You must be under his protection. So after 5 minutes, the mind forget again, you bring back the mind and tell the mind again. By doing this every day, and your mind will do what you want him to do. It's only a matter of practice, everything. Of course, we'll forget because there are so many things happening around us. But then again, stop what you're doing. If you're chanting, you're not thinking of Krishna, you stop chanting. You tell the mind, think of Krishna. Then you chant again. So slowly, the mind will do what, because the mind is a neutral element. The mind only will follow. It doesn't have any discriminatory power. Mind don't have any, so mind will do whatever it's doing. So you have to train your mind. Only way is that always remind again, and remind again. So the mind will begin to serve you. You become the master of your mind. If you don't do that, the mind will become the master of your life. It will control you. Okay? Okay, thank you so much. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Pramanande.